Hey everyone, Paul, Operations Response Manager, here to talk about international operations and in particular the two upcoming international responder courses in September and October. Now this is something we've been doing since response to the Nepal earthquake in 2015. Started getting out the door, really cut our teeth the back end of 2018 on 3 responses in Indonesia, roll into 2019. Big response in Mozambique with the UN. They liked what they saw, particularly UN OCHA, to the extent where they paid for us to go back out on another deployment. And then at the end of that year in the Bahamas, we really saw us honing down those 3 core response capabilities: situational awareness, incident management, and last mile logistics. And then the last time we had boots on the ground in foreign shores was responding to the wildfires in Australia, back end of 2019 into 2020. And then COVID. And whilst full on fighting COVID, we rebranded to React. We were able to shake off some of the shackles, and they were a few, from being in a network, and really drill down into what it is that we do well and what we want to do moving forward. And that is articulated in our mission: direct humanitarian action in the fastest time for those hardest to reach and most vulnerable. And I'll break that down into 2. So the first bit, direct humanitarian action in the fastest time. That means in the immediate aftermath of a disaster, where the people we're going to help in are sometimes only going to have on their backs the clothes they've managed to escape from their disaster with. Life itself is something that they might be clinging onto by a slender thread. It is going to be emotionally challenging. Infrastructure is down. Roads are underwater. There is debris strewn across them, or they've been broken up by an earthquake. And all movement in these initial stages is going to be on foot. It's going to be difficult to get around, and it is going to be a physically challenging environment. Now, it is a huge privilege to be asked by those in need to go and assist them when they've just lived through their worst day, and not something that we take lightly. And I think it is only right that we should send the very best people that we've got available. But that doesn't mean that we can send the same people. So we've got to grow capacity, and that's what these courses are all about. We also acknowledge that value 4, walk towards danger, we're sending you into harm's way. And inevitably, there are going to be subsequent hazards. More earthquakes, aftershocks, tsunamis, hurricanes during the hurricane season, malaria, dengue, cholera, you name it. So we need people who can look after themselves and look after the other people in the team. Now, if you ask me what is it that we're looking for, when you come down here, the mentors are going to go into detail and talk about competencies. But the message that you got on the domestic responder course about being a good person maintains the same. And I still maintain that good people can do great things. But now the context is different, and it's international disaster response. So it's people who can put in a good shift. Long days out on your feet, 3 hours out, needs assessment, wading across rivers, scrambling over debris, time on task, and then back in, and then do that the next day. And that is in the mountains of Nepal, the jungles of Indonesia, the back end of Mozambique, and when it's hot and humid in the Caribbean. You need to be that good person and support the affected population, the beneficiaries, work with other humanitarians, and support the team when you are tired, wet, cold, hungry, under pressure, and maybe even a little bit scared. And what we're looking for is that people who can live our values and abide by our culture in these environments. If I had some top tips for you, I would say 3 things that might assist you when you come down on the International Responder course. The first one is have an open mind. Whatever your background is, even if you're an old and bold Team Rubicon UK member and you've been away before, we're looking at this through the prism of React disaster response operations. And we spent a lot of time thinking about the best way that we possibly do that. The next thing is have a positive mental attitude. This is your opportunity to show us that you're up for it and you've got something to offer for these operations. Your mentors are going to be with you for the whole time and they're going to guide you through the process. So be a sponge, ask questions, soak up all that knowledge and experience. And the final thing is effort. Make sure you give it 100%. Even when you're finding it challenging, going's getting a little bit tough, dig down into that reserve and invariably you'll find something there that will get you across the line. Our mantra is train as you operate. So as best as we can, we're going to give you the same kit that you're going to use when you're deployed. We're going to give you the same rations, so dehydrated expedition food that you're going to get on a remote deployment. So a breakfast meal and a main meal. If you want to supplement that with snacks and brew kit, feel free. You're going to use the same stove and cooking pot that you're going to use on a deployment. So don't bring a gas stove because you won't be able to use it. What you do need to bring is a mug and a spoon. Something that you definitely need and we'll be checking is a full set of waterproofs, so top and bottom. And that is just so that you're protected against the elements if the weather should turn while you're down here. You're going to need a rucksack to carry all that in. No military rucksacks or Bergens, and that goes across for everything. No camouflaged equipment, full stop. And the minimum size that we're looking at is 50 litres. If you've got your admin squared away, and bearing in mind you're carrying your own kit and some team kit, 50 litres should be enough if you've got a sleeping bag that packs down really small. If you're the kind of person who, when you've packed your kit, it looks like there's a baby elephant trying to escape, then you might need something a little bit bigger. And then the final thing, and probably the most important, is you need something comfortable on your feet. You're going to be spending a lot of time walking around on your feet, carrying your equipment. And we have had people come off the course with blisters. So no trainers. So your two options are boots or approach shoes. If you're going to wear boots, you don't need mountaineering boots. It's chill mark, not the Himalayas. And if I was coming on this course, I would have a pair of lightweight walking boots. And that's mainly just so if it rains, it's going to keep my feet dry. And then your other option is approach shoes. So something that's got a sole that's going to give you a bit of support, an aggressive tread, and something that is just a bit more robust than trainers, that's going to withstand the rigors of the course. That's it from me. So thank you for volunteering. Looking forward to seeing you when you come down on the course, and more importantly, looking forward to deploying with you on international operations. Thank you.